How You Vote by Sunnyland Slim. Here on Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. As we turn now to renowned filmmaker, author, activist Michael Moore. For the past 20 years, Michael's been one of the most politically active, provocative, and successful documentary filmmakers in the business. His films include Roger and Me, about the corporation General Motors, Fahrenheit 9/11, about Bush and war, Bowling for Columbine, for which he won the Academy Award about gun violence. He did Sicko, about healthcare, and his latest film, Capitalism, A Love Story. Michael Moore came to our studio late last night to take part in our election special. Michael began by talking about President Obama and the midterm elections.
In the morning, President Obama is going to hold a press conference, and he's going to take the wrong path. He's going to say what we really need now is more bipartisanship and more kumbaya. And the other side wants none of that. And I don't know how much you have to be battered and bruised to understand when the abuser is not going to stop abusing. So let's look into the crystal ball and see what 2012 looks like. If the Tea Party thing keeps its mojo going, they have a very good chance of, in the primaries, nominating one of their people, Sarah Palin or others, Rand Paul, maybe. It's not unlikely. That will, if that doesn't happen, and if a more mainstream Republican gets nominated, they will probably be so upset, they will run a third-party person. And somehow there's going to be a very strong possibility of a potential split, and there's going to be two people from that side running for President of the United States. Obama, if he continues this war, if he expands the war, if he doesn't get a hold of Wall Street and wrestle them to the ground, if we have another crash in the next 10 years because he didn't do the job that he was supposed to have done, he left it up to Geithner and Summers to just take us into the next crash, it is not unlikely that there will be a Nader-esque type challenge from the left, and maybe not in the primaries, but actually an independent candidacy. So we're going to have, for maybe I think the second time in the last 150 years, potentially a four-candidate race. In a four-candidate race, Abraham Lincoln, that was the first one, and that was, I think he won with 30-some, you know, 39% of the vote. And Harry Truman in 48 with Dewey, Strom Thurmond, and Henry Wallace. It first of all presents perhaps the only opportunity in our lifetime where someone from the left could actually win the presidency with a plurality of votes. What it could do is deny Obama his second term. And I think that instead of the Democrats and President Obama taking all of us who are the base that he criticized for the last 2 months, you know, if he doesn't take seriously why we went out to work for him and got him elected, there's a very strong possibility that that challenge is going to exist, and they should think about that as they think tomorrow, the next day, that they should be moving more to the right in order to sustain themselves. The right is going to it's going to be a very crowded freeway heading toward 2012. He doesn't need to go over on that road. He needs to solidify this road to get things done that we need done and to get that second term.
What do you think with the Republicans? You have Mitch McConnell, who is the Senate Minority Leader, Kentucky. And then you have Rand Paul, the new insurgent from Kentucky. They don't like each other. One's Tea Party, one's Republican. Maybe it's going to the point you're making that they're going to divide. You have Sarah Palin. Any assessment has changed on your part of Sarah Palin?
Other than that there's a very strong chance she'll be the candidate for president in 2012? No. It was interesting watching Christine O'Donnell's sort of concession speech tonight. I don't know if you saw it while you guys were in here, but It'll be on YouTube, more on the comedy channel than anything. But you have to watch it because it was interesting, and she got 40% of the vote. I'm Not a Witch got 40%. That's where we live, and but she was criticizing the Democrats, and she sort of made a kind of a veiled threat to the person who beat her, like he better do this and he better do that. But it wasn't until she attacked the Republicans that's where she got the loudest applause in the room. It was the attack on the Republicans. If people think that they're going to be spending a lot of time going after us and our issues, they're going to be very occupied with each other because they're involved in their own civil war. And I've got to believe that if Sarah Palin or Rand Paul is nominated for President of the United States, that someone in the more mainstream, intelligent, if I could use that word for Republicans, camp is going to run, or a Mike Bloomberg is going to run. But somebody's going to run that's going to go, okay, this is nonsense. That's a bag of Fruit Loops, and we need to have an adult running, or Obama's going to get another term.
And as Ralph Nader said on Democracy Now!, he said Mike Bloomberg, unlike Ralph Nader, will be taken seriously because he's a billionaire, sort of like Ross Perot. He'll be that kind of third-party candidate.
Yeah, he also put nice little chairs and tables in the middle of Broadway here. I mean, he's done a lot of nice things here, bike lanes, and and he's trying to get the soda out of the schools. And
so the discussion of the pundits on television is how Obama can reach out to the right, as if he hadn't been doing that all along, saying that he's going to make concessions when it comes to free trade agreements. There's going to be the effort on the part of the Republicans to roll back what they call Obamacare.
That's right. Instead, what he should be doing is going on TV today, tomorrow, and look right into the camera and say, my fellow Americans, the working people of this country, you are the majority. And I am your representative. I am going to fight for you. We are going to wrestle control of this country back into the hands of we the people. This country was not built for the billionaires and for the upper 1%. And I know they're not going to like some of this, but we're just going to go ahead and do it. And I think he's not going to have the House, but he's got 2 of the 3. He's got the Senate. He's got himself. And then he's got to get into that bully pulpit and inspire the voters to put pressure on the Republican House to do it. And if they don't do it, they'll be the ones that are going to be faced with the change in the next election. But that's going to take real guts and real leadership. No more thinking it out. It's already been thought out. And and I'll say this to his credit. I think he's a nice guy. I think that
you were a big supporter.
Well, yeah, I think he came in there with a good heart, and I think he really did want to hold the olive branch out. I don't think that was a trick. I think that really is who he is. I think he's a go along, get along guy, and he just got it whacked out of his hand one time after another. And it's like at some point you just have to say, okay, I tried. Now you're going to